What's cooking, folks? Vermillion Phoenix here, and today we are jumping into some more Orcs Must Die Unchained. We are going to be hopping into Riftlord with Oziel again, and this time we are heading into Frostbite Fortress. Now, Frostbite has always been an interesting map due to the fact that it is relatively hard to actually sustain a long path for the bottom left and the bottom right gates. This isn't too big of a deal in the regular survival version of the map, but if you try this thing in endless, it'll probably be one of the hardest maps for you to deal with. That said, there are a few things that you can do that work particularly well here. Mainly the use of fire traps is heavily recommended. Fire everywhere, and nowhere to cool off is the best way to get it done. So mostly what we're going to be doing. You can use some ceiling traps. There are some places that have some really nice setups for it, but mostly, actually I'm not even sure if the naphtha sprayer is worth it due to the number of places that we'll be able to place it. So I think I'm just going to go with another ballista dragon lance for cheapness, or a ceiling ballista if you really want that damage. But we're going to be using brimstone too, and because I'm not bringing the physical discount smashing deals, we're just going to go with fire sale. We'll bring the Dragon's Lance. Now I'm going to drop Bear Hugs and move Feeling Fierce into its place. You don't really need wall building PhD on this stage at all, but there's not too much that I will be able to put there that will be super beneficial outside of just making traps even cheaper, giving me more money. So I'm just going to take a level up. And I could use the priest. The stable hand is always good. You can put him here, drop him in the jail. The jailer really doesn't see too much action because this gate opens late, so I wouldn't worry about that too much. But otherwise, we are going to go ahead and get this started. Boom.
In their destruction, I will find sustenance.
Alright, so we're going to grab Dark Urges. A little bit of stutter on load here. It's weird. But, yeah, this is where we start on Riftlord. Now, there's a few things that you can do here. If you're using a second wall trap, you can put it opposite wherever you would put a Spitfire. You can also just double arrow wall this. It is not a bad idea. You do not want to put your floor scorchers right here, and that's because you wind up flipping these guys back through the well, it's kind of hard to see here, but because this is here, there's a purple or you know, the wall thing that protects the orcs from being able to die, and we want none of that. We want them to be extra dead and extra crispy all the time. So I guess we can do it this way. So you can place some ballista up here. It's really not necessary. But we'll leave that alone right now and just let it go as is. Man, this stage is so blue. You can barely see Oziel's little ghost legs. He just looks like a floating torso now. But let's go ahead and get these guys fired up.
Enemy has opened a minion portal.
Now, I spent a good amount of coin here to start. I'm going to have to run back and block off the initial entrance to the rift that these guys try to take, which I'll do probably around wave 2 or 3. The important thing is, because you're fighting these barbarians here, they have the same abilities as the soldiers, where they reduce the damage that they take once they get the low health, and because of that, you want to make sure that you're using something that deals damage over time when firing on them. Otherwise, you'll have a few issues. Alright, should have a bit of time there. They're going to be slowed. They're going to be on fire. They're going to be unhappy. And that's really your goal here. You don't really need the orcs to die, but, you know, they got to be sad if they're still going to live. And maybe a little bit vertical too, you know, can flip them every now and again. Maybe that'll be like a new challenge that they create later on. Orcs must be airborne. Alright, gonna grab jagged shards. We really don't need much else here. We can add that, and that should really be all we need. But we'll want to start preparing for these guys to come through here. There we go.
Is this what I'm reduced to? Setting traps.
Sometimes in very narrow passages, you need enemies to be really... Okay. Yep. There's some lightning for you, a little bit of fire. Bring it. Very dead. Just the way I like them. But sometimes in very narrow passages, you have a little bit of difficulty placing traps correctly. And that's because you have to place the center of the trap where it needs to go rather than just one of the edges. Sometimes that's a little hard to pinpoint. Alright, need you to just die. Thank you. I'm going to be very late with this setup, but I'm basically just pushing time to try to 5-star this. So add the slows. There we go. And the Bernie bits. If you're going to use a Spitfire, use it on the left side. Okay. Now that is above. Yeah, let's just put you there. I need the speed boost right now. You can take out most of those guys. And we need to come over. Oh no, that's underground. I'm sorry. Oop. Alright, you guys lived for far too long. Most of the heavy guys are going to get through here. Of course, bears, because they have their bit of HP regen. Alright, I was about to say, if that Guardian let that one guy through, I would have been really upset. Looks like we're good, though. Okay. Start this again. Alright, the combination of the slow and the Guardian there should make that quite ridiculous. We have about one more wave before we have to actually worry about anything else.
Eternity is a trap. Its own way.
Okay, and we're grabbing Vexing Surge. And it's a little present. Hope you guys enjoy that. The good thing about using the stable hand with Oziel is because Oziel doesn't lose a lot of his speed while he attacks. He moves really fast while attacking, and that lets you do all sorts of crazy stuff. You can kite really far. Alright. And the Bernie bits are in. Alright, so we get the bottom right opening in about 2 waves now. I believe I have a good amount of coins, so I'm going to go set that up. Add another one of these guys just because I want the movement speed. I don't necessarily need the freezing or the slow or any of that crazy stuff. However, when this gate opens, you will have a couple of mercs, so
Absolutely not.
like 4 of those would be good. Alright. And we're finally out of coin. So we're going to head back and dust off whatever minions happen to still be alive. Don't think it's really going to be a lot. Might be none. Good fire traps. Presents for everybody. Okay. Believe I'm good enough to just go ahead and push Z. We are going to rush back to the bottom right hand gate. It's going to take a few seconds to open because it hasn't been smashed yet. Ooh. Already level 10? Ectoplasmic doohickeys. Alright. You just gotta die. Thank you. Alright, and I don't care about those because we're about to get some all kinds of crazy explosions going here. Who's getting... Alright, the souls don't seem to be going anywhere. That's weird. No, you don't. Alright, there we go. That was weird. The souls were floating around me, but they were just like not targeting anything. Alright, and now these guys are basically just going to die. And I think that's safe enough that we can just head over to the other gate.
An unstable rift is opening.
And they put our unstable rift there, so we really don't have a choice. That like swimming animation is just hilarious.
Heroes destroyed the unstable rift, and there was
Okay,
much
so
rejoicing.
here, what I generally like to do is block this
I almost feel sorry for them.
and cut that off. Okay, somebody made it through. I'm not a fan of that. Alright, you are cutting through here. You're a big boy. There we go. Those guys are getting flipped on the traps. That should give me a little bit of time to let them die, as well as trap this area up a bit more. So, these guys do like to path around stuff. If you... Actually, I should move those up here.
They will not survive.
And we're going to point these that way. And put one of these right around here. Spitfire should kill him. Come on, die, please. There we go. Thank you. Finally. Actually, we should sell this and then just rain the fire upon them. Sort of this way. Alright, that's good enough. We'll slow everybody coming out.
Our enemies, they're breaking
Something
through
like
again.
that. Make sure that they're burned a bit. And another guardian.
And yet still I hunger.
I'll probably use a bit more of that.
They will come to me.
Some more Bernie bits. Now they're gonna hug the wall when they come up here.
More than one way to skin them.
Slow them as you burn them again. Burn them back here too. And probably add one of these. And then we should really be alright. But just in case. The rest of the trap slots really aren't super important. But there's a couple things we want to do just to make sure that Oziel's lack of initial movement speed can be dealt with. And that is pretty much what we just did here. Want to add another stable hand, and then we can go over here. Alternatively, if you don't have the stable hand, you could bring something like the the teleportation ring. That was off, but all right. I don't need those to be too precise anyway, but we can add some burning bits there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, good enough for me. Let's go murder these dudes right in the face. Large targets also give Oziel more souls than usual, which is really nice. Alright, 2 more waves to go. 11 and 12, here we go. So most of these should actually be really solid right now as far as how well they hold up on defense. Probably add one of these here too. Alright, so our Guardian down there in the jail is not going to hold up too well, mainly because fire damage gets dealt over time, and he's going to have to hold back a ton of things going on before he actually gets to kill all these guys. And while he's great at slowing them, their steady ability will really start to tax him. So that's part of the reason why I wanted to toss these guys up in the first place. But on wave 12, I think we should be good. Even if he dies, most of the traps will be able to take care of what's back there. Although I really would like that Guardian location to be further back, maybe like in this corner, but you know, the map's been around for a while. I don't think they're changing anything on it.
An unstable rift is opening. Get to it
I
and destroy
could
it.
care less.
How does it?
Well done. The unstable rift has been destroyed.
Alright, there's a present. Gonna head over to where the boss is, and we have many gifts to offer. A little bit of lightning, drop some souls.
We've defeated the enemy's boss minion.
And a parting gift for the last few guys. Everybody should be... Oh, no. Okay, there's one guy getting flipped still.
Again.
and there we go. So the key to that map was very much not Oziel, and more the use of the fire traps there. It's a bit expensive, but if you have a discount on your fire traps, either via the use of short springs, which will reduce their effectiveness, or the better choice, which is the fire sale, you can have a ton of coin and deal a very large amount of damage very quickly there. So that's really nice. And with the recent buffs to the brimstone, that works even better than it used to. Either way, that's going to be Frostbite, and we're moving into Gates of Thorikvad next. So tomorrow you guys will probably get Gates of Thorikvad and Temple Graveyard. And I'm actually a little bit ahead in recording right now. So maybe Wednesday night we might get a stream? Or Tuesday? Not sure. Either way, let me know what you guys think of everything with Oziel so far. I know he is on the slow side, but the amount of power he brings with him kind of makes that worthwhile. But I don't know. What do you think? Either way, thanks as always for tuning in. I sincerely appreciate it. And until next time, as always, have a good one, folks.